Night of the Living podcast is always ad-free for patrons at patreon.com/NOTLP.
Wow. Kelley was just telling us, and we were like, hurry up, let's just record and talk about it on the show. People he would like to throw a cup of French dressing with a grape in it.
You have to put the grape in it, otherwise it's not authentic.
Yeah.
What is it with boys? Okay, what did somebody discover in your lunchroom when you were kidding, Kelley?
Oh, I don't know how they discovered it, but it became
passed down.
A momentary trend to take a grape, one single grape, and put it into a little cup of the disgusting orange French dressing.
I don't like French dressing.
For whatever reason
dressing.
that they gave out to middle school children.
Yeah, they're like, kids love a little bit of lettuce with some French dressing on it.
Yeah, that's what kids love. I don't know, with their carrots. Anyway, so you would see somebody just put a grape in a fucking little cup. Sometimes you just see them sitting around too.
They're loading up.
But then they just put it on the fucking end of a spoon, and then not the spoon end, the stem end. And then, or a fork, and then they'd fucking quing and hit the spindly end and send it like just off into space. Sometimes one would land on a table or floor near you. Splat
everywhere.
But it was, as I was saying, it just kind of looked even just a little extra gross, like the little purple grape floating just in the translucent.
Could you see the janitor? Was he just standing in the corner like, you motherfuckers?
I don't know. I didn't think about the janitor. Yeah. I don't even know how this could happen, but it did.
No one thinks about the janitors.
Because we did. Freddie was talking about stomping on
ketchup packets.
And I was saying in high school, we were awful. There was a back area of the fucking
cafeteria.
Thank you.
Am I your handler?
Andy's got you, man. Don't you worry.
It was the part of the cafeteria that faced the front of the building that was on the left-hand side as you're facing the building.
When
and
you pass the duchy.
There are little round tables there, and that was like our little area. And not only did we were monsters, so we would sit them on the table and smack them with our fists, and squirt ketchup and mustard and all manner of things. But then, no, I feel bad about this, but we were teenage boys. What are you gonna fucking do? We would take pickles and we would take things and fling them upon the wall to see if it would stick, and how long people would leave it there. And I tell you, sometimes it was there a minute.
Andy and I were kind of a party to a trashing of a hotel room once.
It was muffins, wasn't it?
We did this at Burger King too.
This was in Milwaukee, right?
Yeah.
And it was Go-Gurt.
I feel bad now thinking about it. We were adults at this point.
I mean, it wasn't so bad. We did clean it up ourselves.
Did we though? Did we?
I mean, it was like,
Dude, we were checking out, and that's when we threw everything against the wall.
We were like, were we still teenagers?
We were in our 20s.
We were in our 20s? Oh my God. Jesus Christ. But we did discover that it was funny that if you cut the end off of a Go-Gurt tube and you grab the other end and you kind of whip it like Indiana Jones, all the yogurt comes out and it goes right all over who you're aiming at.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Man, what is it about boys? Do girls do this?
No!
Do girls fling condiments in food?
I have never. The one thing I have that comes close to this, and this one I do feel really guilty about. Remember that little restaurant at the end of our street, Kelley?
Oh, it was Nick and Jane's, and then it became other things. It was Frank's Diner recently, and now it's something else.
It's still, it's still there.
Nick and Jane's is what I knew it best as growing up.
And
really great little
I was with some friends, and they were bad influences, and we unscrewed the top of the salt and left it on loose.
Chrissy and Miranda.
Yeah.
Those toughs. Those hardcores. You were running with a wild crowd.
You guys don't even know.
You guys were a menace.
We were not. Woo! We were the saddest.
Though, let me tell you, I knew bad kids, and you guys were not bad kids.
But so
that's blown off steam. It's pretty harmless. It's food
so
fights.
we do that.
Yeah.
And we leave.
Yeah.
And like a few days later, I go back, and the dude that owns the place comes right out to us.
Oh, you know what? Cost
and
him money.
he's like, that cost me money. If you do that again, you're never allowed in here again. And I was like, oh, okay, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything. I lied my ass off.
And we used to do that shit at that. Remember the old haunted Burger King down by the Mount Airy Kroger?
Yes. That's where
Place
Freddy
is
got a raw
disgusting.
burger from them once.
Yeah, we used to go there on Friday nights before. You want to talk about the toughs, eh? We used to go there on
Were you
Friday
wearing leather
nights
jackets?
before we would. Well, yes,
Yeah, okay.
of course. And then we were gonna go to the pool hall at Brentwood Bowl and play pool. But first we went to the Burger King to trash it a little bit. And we would do the same thing that we did at school, but to the window at the Burger King, and we would do the salt thing that you did. We would turn it upside down and let it go in there. I think we even we were awful.
That's why the Burger King closed down.
Yeah.
You guys trashed it so much.
Yeah, it was definitely that reason, and not
They
because
didn't give a
it was.
shit. We were just being. They were
It
just
was a
probably
weird
like.
Burger King.
They're probably like those kids out there. Just don't go out. Don't look, Marion.
Yeah.
Like it's like they just were afraid.
And you think it was just we had the luxury of being bored as kids,
Yeah.
and that's when you get creative with packets of food and stuff.
You think kids still do that?
Yeah, but they're doing it to strangers and putting it on TikTok.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
filming it. They're punching
their
bums,
version.
or, in the back of the head, and
Yeah.
laughing about it instead. They're getting worse.
That's
least-
nice to know that kids don't change. They're still awful.
They're still awful. Honestly, yeah, they're still awful. Like what I did, there's no evidence of what I did. There is no evidence.
Well, I think
but
that's
my story, and could I be lying? But these kids today, they're like, look at this fucking nonsense I fucking didn't. Terrible.
when I do think what you just said is a key, because you're like, what is it about little boys? And I think for me, and I think this is probably part of it, is that it's something that like you've just discovered you have the balls to do this like anti-authority thing, but you also know like it's harmless, like it's gonna come off. You might get in trouble, but it's not gonna be that bad of
Take
trouble.
that, big ketchup.
French fucking dressing will stain.
Well, but you don't think about that because you're a child.
Ketchup will stain.
You don't think about that because you're a child.
See,
unless you're one of those kids who unfortunately does know about stuff like this.
Well, okay, well,
Yeah.
do
Like
kids still do
proper laundry
Do they
care.
still toilet paper houses, or has the advent of porch cameras destroyed that?
They do in teen dramas.
You know what?
Because we used to like
Nobody
when we
has
were
a Ring
teens,
camera.
There would be like yards all over the town just covered in toilet
Yeah.
paper, but I haven't seen one in years.
Like Jamie said, Ring cameras.
Do you think any?
That's a good point, Andy. I haven't even thought about that until just now.
Are you seeing Ring cameras being like normalized in television and movies? No, I just mean like.
Ooh, there's going to be a horror movie maybe filmed on Ring cameras
I'm sure there
exclusively.
will be, and I bet it's in production right now. And if it's not Andy TM, we should do that. Ring cameras. I'm just trying to think. Like, yeah, like that's gonna destroy a lot of things
No more
that are tropes.
no more of the dog do on fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless you're wearing all black.
Yeah.
I mean,
in like a black hood.
Somebody will come up with a reason to get around it for a story. Like you were saying, it's a trope that's going to die, but cell phones still have no service.
Right.
So it'd be like, Ring camera was down. Someone erased the footage. There it is.
Can't do ding dong ditch anymore.
No more
No.
ding dong ditch. Oh,
That was a rude thing to do.
it was.
It
I did
was.
that too.
Yeah.
I did it.
I did it.
Yeah, you just make an old person get up who's like, hold on, sweetheart.
Well, I
I'm
like,
coming.
What
I
a
have
lame
candy
joke.
for you."
I mean, I would not answer my
They
door if
opened
somebody
the
knocked
door.
on it.
Yeah.
we targeted specific people. I feel terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, ours was always just randos.
Racially motivated.
Because
No.
in our neighborhood, like, everybody knew each other, so like we would have to go to
Right.
other neighborhoods and ding dong ditch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because I lived in an apartment complex, so you couldn't really do that. So my friends who didn't live, we would go to their areas and do that.
You'd go to your friends' areas.
Go to my friends.
Well, that's what you do as a kid.
I remember specifically doing it in Virginia Beach. I don't know if I ever did it anywhere here when we moved here. Anyway, I don't know that matters. Man, we were shitty little assholes.
Yeah.
Crank calls. I did all that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, crank calls were fun.
Like if I'm an adult now and I pick up my phone and somebody's like, "Hi, is your refrigerator running? I should try you to go catch it." Like I would think that was adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, because no one's doing that.
But if anybody's gonna do something crank anchor style, I don't want any part of that.
What if they call you and like, do you have Prince Albert in a can?
If somebody did a crank yank, the only thing that would be a problem for me if someone did a crank yankers thing to me is that I'd know at some point, and then I'd feel bad because I'd want to laugh, but then it won't be a good one if I know.
Yeah.
And it's like, then I'm like, do I play along? Do I play stupid? How do I make? And then I'd be worrying too much about it.
Yeah, well, that's what I do. I laugh. If a call is weird enough, I would like think it's funny, and then they'll be like, I am deadly serious right now.
Well,
And
here's
I'm
the
like,
thing.
oh, shit.
I don't pick up calls anymore.
I don't either.
Well, I mean,
It
there's
goes
that
straight to
too.
voicemail.
Yeah, I don't anymore either. It's a thing of the past.
Oh man,
I can't even play with like obvious like spammers or like people trying to get something.
It's not like it used to be.
Like somebody just texted me the other day, like
Everybody's doing it now, so it's not as much fun.
hey, I just came back from Singapore. I haven't talked to you for a long time. I mean, there are people who will play with that and like start
Remember, I
goofing
used to do
around.
that.
I can't even do
Well,
that.
I'm too paranoid that they'll get my information
I'm
somehow.
too like I don't want to. It's not their fault. They have to do this, I guess.
I had one who only took 3 responses before they got really mean.
Yeah, I don't want any part of that.
But at first, I was like, oh, yeah, I remember you. It was fun.
I remember the one time. The last time I did phony crankies was because we got star 69 and called right back.
Yeah.
Oh, I've had that happen.
And
I had
and
that
it
happen
was-
when I was like a young teen.
And what's sad is it wasn't even a good one. Like it was, we lost all creativity. So we just dialed a number, and as soon as they picked up, we were just like,
It was just like it was either that or we would like make like moaning noises like
yeah. We didn't get to that. I don't think we were brave enough
were
to
big
make sex
kids.
noises, but like we just shouted a bunch of bullshit, and then they called right back, and I feel like they were like, "Did you think I was gonna get your?" They said something like, "Did you expect we'd call you right back?" I was like, "No."
I star 69.
They're like, "You ever do this again, we're gonna call the police."
Oh, I think I got that same, like, I will call the police if you do it again. I remember it was a woman, like an older woman that called back.
This was a dude.
you get humbled real quick as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, oh shit, my colon just fell out of my body.
It did. It did.
Yeah, it's
Everything below the breastbone just splashed
You know
upon
how
my
many times
floor.
I've told kids to shut the fuck up in theaters?
Oh, yeah.
And they do it.
It's the truth.
It's because nobody
I've
calls.
been there. I've seen it
Because nobody
happen.
calls them out on stuff, and when they finally get called out on stuff, they're like, "Oh gosh, there's
Yeah.
consequences."
Yeah.
Until you run to the one with the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're fucked.
I don't like that. Not a fan.
Kids have guns, Amy.
children with
Fox
guns.
News says so.
All right, I'm just wrapping my head around children having their own cell phones. Okay, I
Wrapping.
don't know that I can handle this. I'm old.
I don't think that's the why. You're not old.
Okay.
Were you,
I'm a fuss budget.
You're reasonably aged.
A fidgety bit.
It's
What's
Freddy's-
it called? From
I'm a
flippity jibbit.
flippity jibbit.
It's a preview of our movie we're covering this week.
Yeah.
Flippity jibbit?
Freddie Morris is a year older today.
Yeah.
Happy
Thank you.
to the B, to the I, to the RTHDAY,
Because we
OU, birthday, you, today, happy.
Thank you. It means a lot to me.
That's slam
Today,
poetry. I just did that.
happy.
I'm glad that we happen to be doing the podcast on my birthday so that we could all be together. Because you guys, I love you guys more than anybody in the world.
Oh, we love you too.
I'm spending time with you. I'm sorry. Friends has ruined me.
Andy will never be able to tell somebody.
And he's like, "Cum would be for perfection."
Come?
It would
Yeah,
be
like
too.
Chandler when he's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Give
You
me
said
cum."
gum.
He says,
You
"Cum."
said gum.
Chandler, he's like, "Do you have cum?"
It's gum. Yeah, it's your birthday. I'm so glad
Yeah.
that you're still alive.
Me too. I didn't think I would make it this far.
Go, shorty.
I mean, no joke, I didn't. So every
It's your
day,
birthday.
I was telling you, every day's a gift. Every day's a gift. Each day's a gift.
Just what's that thing with a present? Because each day's a gift.
The present.
Today is called the present because
Yeah.
each day's a gift. Yeah.
History is a mystery.
That's something that's a corny thing I believe in.
That was on Kung Fu Panda, I think.
It is. It's in Kung
And
Fu
then
Panda.
when somebody said, like they said that line, and somebody went behind him was like, "Oh." because she finally got it, what it meant. It was kind of adorable.
That's really cute.
It was hilarious at the same time.
I love those movies.
They're great movies.
Yeah, they really are.
I've never seen one.
High quality.
They're funny.
They're
Oh,
great.
you never had the noodle
A
dream?
lot of heart.
Yeah,
I know about the noodle
A
dream.
lot of heart.
The Noodle Dream.
Good kung fu movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear.
I don't know if
Voiced
I've
by
seen the
white
third one.
actors.
I've only seen I think I've only seen the first one, but I really liked it. I liked it enough to just go ahead and say I like all of them. Let's go for it. I don't even need to see them. I'm going to go ahead and say I like them. Puss in Boots too. Why not? Were you waiting for me?
I mean,
You keep looking at me.
I don't know.
I thought you were going to facilitate today, but I can do it.
Oh, I mean, what do you need me to? It's your birthday.
It's my birthday. I would just roll with it. I'll roll with it. What's up? What's up with you? How you doing? Patreon, I guess?
Yeah, patreon.com/NOTLP.
Boom.
We just did Origins. It was an episode from March of 2012. Freddie gave us the deets.
Grazie.
We slapped a new intro on it. I don't remember. There was a few things that were mild apologies.
Nothing terrible.
I think we're getting better.
You know, I stand by
Every time.
the Wigger Man. I would still plop down my money to see that. I'm not offended by it. I don't think it's offensive in general at all. I have a deep love for that guy. It's in my imagination. He's real to me now.
Okay. It's his birthday. I mean, let him have it.
Yeah, let me be a flaw today.
Let him have it.
Because I was born on exactly
I
this
accept
date.
you.
46. I keep forgetting.
Years ago. My God, my shoulder from all the spankings I'm going to have to give later.
Oh, I'm not the oldest one in this room, Amy.
I know.
No, I know.
I mean, I wasn't going to say anything. I just... I don't talk about being so old. Like I was picking up. Oh my God! I finally got my acoustic back from the shop. They
nice.
did a great job, by the way. Restoration guitar.
Yeah.
If you're in the tri-state area, it take them forever to get the work done. I dropped it off before Christmas and just got it back, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
And their prices were good. So
Yeah.
I got it back. Now I'm trying to remember why I thought of this. What was I saying? Oh, and the guy who runs the shop is kind of older guy, older than me, and I was like. I said something about feeling something old man shit, and then I looked at him and I said, "I'm sorry, I hate when people do that to me too." Because I could tell he's like, "Oh, shut the fuck up,"
Right.
and I'm like, "Icy, I'm picking up what you're giving out, and it's that, you're old,
Yeah.
and I should be more observant of the fact that I'm talking to someone who has probably been through a lot more than I have."
Kelley,
What?
he's got a whole year on you.
47. Yeah.
I did a lot of living in that year.
Done a lot of living. I've done a lot of breathing.
Yep.
What can I
I've
expect?
done a lot of, you can expect some boners.
Some?
You're going to expect somebody. you can expect some rainy days.
Yeah?
You can expect some sandwiches.
Ooh.
You can expect
I love
some
sandwiches.
mail in the mailbox.
These are all things you could expect.
Those are nice.
And then
Thank you,
intervening
Kelley,
here.
for the.
I'm just giving
look
you
into
a
the
glimpse
future.
into your future. You call me the ghost of birthday future.
He's my birthday ghost.
Birthdays to come.
Is there anything I'm missing from the opening?
Glurp.
Topicana, do you want to tease your squeeze or are you still formulating an idea?
Oh, we actually, you and I came up with something together, but I can't remember precisely what it was.
Freddie was reading some Dear Prudence letters
that's
this
right.
morning, and I was like, you know what would be a fun Topicana? Grab some fun, like,
Yeah.
Dear Abby or some
I wanna
Dear
do
Prudence
that.
letters, and let's give our advice
Oh.
and see how we'd handle this.
So we'll just grab them, I guess, randomly
Buy
at
the
time
pussy,
of.
I think, is where you should grab them.
Yeah, it'll be real loosey goosey. It'll
Yeah.
probably be a little
All right.
looser and less formal than our usual, like
Your bowel movement.
like our pot Topicanas are formal at all.
Yeah.
But that's it.
I guess tell everybody on the last Topicana, and now you as the general audience. My mother has cancer, and I just found this out like over the last 2 weeks. So it's been a really heavy time, and shows may be weird. I don't know. I'm gonna try to keep up the schedule. But we're fighting it, and we're hoping for good news tomorrow when we talk about staging. We're hoping for limited, not extensive. Everybody think of the word limited.
The
limited.
I'm thinking of it right now.
Remember that store from the mall?
I'm focusing on it. Focusing on my intent.
You like
Yeah.
it?
I've got a good feeling about it, but We won't know anything until tomorrow. But if Amy and I seem particularly like a couple of like weirdos, that's why. Because we're going through something weird.
Well, you do what you got to do, folks.
Yeah.
Don't let nobody got no expectations on y'all.
We appreciate that.
I do appreciate that. It's been nice. All of my friends are nice and stepping up, and everybody's been wonderful.
Discord, you guys are amazing.
Yeah. Discord is a thing you get with our Patreon. If you're into it, we like to just chit chat and do the laughs.
And as
laughs.
you just heard, it's amazing.
If you're a cancer survivor or going through anything, with family or anything, I started like a thread on our Discord that's just a fuck cancer thread where you can kind of talk about that. Also, it's a nice place to kind of quarantine it from the other conversations. So if you don't want to hear stuff
I guess,
about
I mean,
it,
was I supposed to trigger warning? I don't know how you do that for people.
I think that it's self-explanatory. The name of the
No, I mean
text
talking
channel.
about it now.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even think about that. I don't know. How do you do content warnings? I mean, I guess I could have said something, but I wasn't even thinking about it. And I don't think it's that big of a deal. And nobody asked me.
It's part of
I
everyone's
got to
life.
tell you, don't worry about it.
Nobody asked me if it was going to be a trigger if my mom got cancer.
That's right.
So
I wouldn't worry about it at all. Nobody's mad.
So you can't go through the zodiac at all, and when they come across cancer, like, oh no.
I know.
Yeah.
So
I
we need
can't.
to change the name of that
My knees give
that
out.
one zodiac sign.
But yet
Yeah.
again, Mom and I go, when we go to the hospital afterwards, she's like, you want to go get some breakfast? And this is the second time we've gone to the Pepper Pod, which down in Newport, Kentucky, is a greasy spoon.
Yeah.
Emphasis on greasy. Really good breakfast, though. But you can smoke in there.
I just discovered I didn't know you could still smoke in establishments in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Not many, but
that's why people
I went
go
to,
there.
Went to Bobby Mackey's this last Saturday,
Oh, Andy, I got to hear about this.
Ghosts and
and
demons.
I didn't get hit with ghosts when I walked in. I get hit with the smell of smoke.
Tell
Yeah.
everybody what Bobby
So
Mackey's
weird,
is.
right?
Oh, it's like a honky tonk, and it's supposedly the most haunted bar in America. And there's ghost tours.
I've been in the basement.
Yeah, it's a
And
experience.
that's not a euphemism.
No. That's where the demons are. That's where the Hellmouth is.
The basement tour feels dangerous, not just because of the ghosts.
It really does.
Because seems very unsafe, the building.
We have not been there together, right,
Yeah.
Andy? That was Amy's
Yeah.
work we did that with. Okay.
But these are like buildings that have extensions and buildings upon buildings.
Yes.
So it's like MacGyver
Maze.
type stuff
Yeah.
where you did like just beams everywhere and just random like holes and
How did you
stuff like
do
that.
holes and Did you do the downstairs first or the upstairs first?
Downstairs, they didn't, there was too much going on upstairs.
Yeah. It looks like you guys met Bobby Mackey.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Bobby.
Yeah, he was playing that weekend.
Did you get to watch him play?
We got there too late. The tour was happening while he was playing, but we heard a song.
He's good.
He's a really nice old man.
Yeah, he seems like a sweetheart, but I love that song about the ghost that haunts
Joanna.
the bar. Yeah. If you haven't heard that, what is it called again?
Joanna or Joanna.
But look up Bobby Mackey, Joanna, or it's
We've
a
been
really
in her
cool-
little dressing room down there.
Yeah.
Her little.
Yeah.
It's a really cool place. It's got like a nice history.
Did it startle the hell out of you when they started dropping bottles down those chutes?
Yes, it did.
So loud.
And also just the squeaking of the wood that's
Yeah.
right above you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's a very old building.
Did anyone ride the mechanical bull?
A lot of people did.
Yeah.
I was going to, but got stage fright.
Yeah.
I'd be scared that I would get hurt.
Yeah.
And I'm not scared. It's more about
You
people
would.
watching.
I
than
would get hurt,
anything.
probably. Know my luck.
But then I watched people do it, and then I was like, "Oh, it's a good idea." I didn't do it because
It's embarrassing.
I would fuck my back up real good.
Well, that's it. Yeah,
it's,
it's,
it
I
looks
think my bull
terrifying.
riding days might be over unless I like make a major life change.
Yeah, well, I did notice everybody that rode it was pretty young and
Yeah.
spry.
so nobody from your group.
And that's like something that we are not.
Yeah. So you went with a bunch of horror hound people, which is fun.
Yeah, our friends, the Jodies and Violet and Chris, and it was
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah, it's like it
Yeah,
feels
really
like
good time.
family reunion
Yeah.
almost when you're with those folks. They're like our cousins or something. They're our horror cousins.
Hara cousins.
Hara.
But they're remodeling it soon. That's why we went to it, because get a last chance to see it. So if you ever in the area and
So-
want to see some ghosts,
They're going to take the ghosts out as part of the remodel.
yes. The ghosts are remodeling it. Actually,
Oh, okay.
they're making room for them.
They're gonna
They left the restaurant, but they took the ghost.
They didn't move all the kegs. It's hot. Is there anything else for the top that you want to talk about, Amy or Kelley or Andy?
Nah, bro.
No problem.
All right. We'll
No
be
bras.
right back after this. That sounded like I farted. I just wanted you to know it was my chair.
All right.
I caught it. It was your chair.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for straight to video Russian roulette.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to
no.
preface this with,
It's your tone. I'm like undisappointed already.
yeah, a lot of people might really like this. So I'm not going to say don't watch this. This is a goofy, over the top, puppety, splattery, goofity, crunchity crunch,
Crispity, crunchity,
Butterfinger.
peanut buttery.
And it, you know, so if you're into things literally just for those things, if you just like crazy, goofy, silly effects,
You like butter?
So I'd probably like it.
you will probably like it for just the goofiness.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
The movie is called Destroy All Neighbors.
Thank you.
It's the movie that I watched for my report this week.
Make eye contact with our audience.
So imagine us naked.
Yeah.
I already did.
Our underwear.
Yeah, you gotta imagine you clothed.
Freddie got his really cute little underwear on today, by the way.
Oh.
Got little stripies. Sorry.
Yeah. So like, Alex Winter is in this, and he might have produced it or written it.
I thought he directed it. Sorry, I was muted.
I'm not sure that he directed it.
I'll double check for you.
He might have. He definitely was super involved,
Yeah.
including playing a major part.
He showed up to all the baseball games of the movie.
He did.
He was really involved.
And
He did not direct it.
yeah, I thought it was somebody else, but so it's fun. It feels like it starts off. Jonah Ray's in it. If everybody's familiar with Jonah Ray, if you're not, in the new MST3K, he's both he's the human and also he's the voice of one of the bots. Maybe
I don't think so.
No, he's not. You're right. He's not. That's Baron Vaughn and might still be Kevin. I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So Jonah Ray is your point of view character in this, and he's kind of a sad sack type that works at a music studio, just as like a console jockey, and in his spare time he makes crazy prog music, just prog.
Prague.
What's great is my favorite thing about most things when he's a part of it, John Daly, is there is a fun recurring thing where Jonah Ray would be driving around and he's got his iPhone or whatever on a little stand in his car so he can watch a video, and it's these like 1980s. It's this guy from a band in the 1980s played by John Daly who's giving like prog bass lessons on how to rock, and it's really those are real funny.
Don't you love it when you see someone do a bit about prog rock in particular, where you're like, they get it. They were someone who was into the scene, like, and really understands it.
Well, there's some love that prog rock is a part of this. There's some loving descriptions but also like an understanding of the other aspects of prog rock, I think, are addressed. And so that part, I can say, I got that.
Yeah.
I was down with that. Though, like, it's just weird. It's one of those movies, it's just like a lot of weird for the sake of weird, which is not always bad. I like that sometimes. I didn't dislike this, but it was... My time on this earth is limited, and I'm very well aware of it. So my my
Priorities.
openness and just the amount of pleasure I get from something like
Right.
if I watch something,
It better.
I want to watch it.
What you're saying is that you just don't want to be just passively taking shit in to be taking it in.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so this is that.
Right.
And it is colorful. There's some crazy shit. There's some disturbing puppetry later in this movie. I didn't like looking at it. And that's a compliment.
But that's a good thing, right?
No, that's a compliment. I really didn't. Like, I was like,
That's so funny.
it was a character, and one of our characters, Jonah Ray, was talking to this character, and they would cut to Jonah Ray, and you'd be like, okay.
Oh, so the puppets are actually real characters. They're like, is it like Muppets or like Meet the Feebles?
No, it's just like characters. I mean, there's not really a way to spoil this. It's characters who have died. This is like someone who was like burned to death, I think.
Ugh.
But it's a puppet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like, it's just
So it's not a cute puppet.
no. This isn't. When I say puppets, it's like effects puppetry.
I gotcha.
Okay.
And it's just like it's a disturbing
Yeah.
thing for me. And I like they would cut to him and I'd be like, okay.
Tarman from Return of the Living Dead, kind of.
Clearly inspired by that.
Okay.
But not. You'll just have to see it. I think you will enjoy
We
it.
were all just thinking of felt puppets, weren't we? But
Yeah,
that
I
is
was.
not what's going on
these
here.
are not
Okay.
Muppets. They're not
Yeah.
like meant to be taken as puppets. Like, it's a character, and then they'd cut back to her, and I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
ugh. And it's not even that big of a deal. You'll just see what I mean.
All right.
Anyway, so I mean, there are definitely things that I did enjoy. Jonah Ray's fine. He's fine. I mean, he does a good job at what he does. Alex Winter plays a character called Vlad, and he is not recognizable as Alex Winter. And I'm a little unclear as to why they went so hard that way. Because it's like a character, it's like a very fat bastardy kind of makeup set going on. But that's the only way he appears in the movie. So it's like not like he was playing multiple. It looked like a movie where he was going to play multiple characters, and then they just cut out all but one of them.
So the makeup wasn't important, like the character to Fat Bastard is? Because that's part of the Fat Bastard character is the makeup.
Well, it is all of the makeup
Yeah.
is the character. I mean, it's just like this really weird, again, kind of a puppety looking person. I just don't understand. I don't know. This, I get it. Like, it was very much like a throwback to the MTV movies. You know, I think because, again, Alex Winter was involved in Freaked. I think this was sort of inspired by that idea, probably. And it's got that very, like, manic, colorful, weird lighting, weird angles, 90s, you know.
Gotcha.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's because he had
Style.
that like sketch show too that was like that.
Yeah, and Alex Winter did a sketch show.
Yeah, before Freaked.
No shit.
Oh, we watched some of that, didn't we? Wasn't it on NPV? Or
It was MTV, but I can't remember what it was called.
Well,
Yeah.
Flip Flap.
yeah.
Close enough. You can. I mean, it's, if you're a fan of Alex Winter, you already know, and if you're curious, he has an IMDb page, and it's there.
Well, so this is like it just it's fine. It didn't do it for me. There's like there's no point in. I'll just tell you, there's not really a story. There is a story. It really doesn't matter at all. Maybe you'll be like, I watched that and I disagree. There is a great deal of gravitas to this. And please feel free to tell someone about it. I'm not going to read it because I'm not on social media. But I encourage you to put it somewhere.
Call
Someone
a
might
friend.
tell me about it at some point.
God bless you, Andy, for doing our social media.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
But I do think some people will enjoy this. If you like just goofy nonsense, splatterfest, colorful, just bleh. This is fun. This should be pretty fun for you. It's on Shudder.
All right.
Or are the effects done well, at least?
I tell you what, they know that they have limited what the effect. No, but yes, like the puppet I was telling you about. Like, they clearly didn't have the budget to do like a burned looking, really realistic thing, so they went with this other thing, but they really made it work. So their budget is clearly like garbage, but they made it work in their favor, and they're kind of over the top and goofy and gross. I mean, yes and no. Like they definitely utilized.
I mean, it sounds like you're describing Freaked basically, but like Freaked had an actual storyline and everything where all the bits meant something to the story.
Yeah, this was not like that. This was just sort of weird. Just a weird.
So it was like a bunch of skits basically.
But more or less, yes. I mean, they're tied together. Things happen, but like it doesn't matter.
All right.
Like they could have happened in any order, and it wouldn't really matter.
You know, we were talking about stuff we liked as kids, and you went back and revisited it, and you're like, that isn't what.
Yeah,
I remember Drexel's class with Dabney Coleman.
Oh yeah, a little Dabney Coleman will do you.
Show was not good. I thought it was great in my memory.
Yeah, you hunted it down for us to watch.
But he was a curmudgeonly teacher.
You said something that made me think of that. Now I can't remember what it was, but it's not important.
I'm sorry.
I didn't want to derail what you're saying.
Well, thank you, Kelley.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Seems like wasn't for you.
You know what? I mean, it wasn't.
Thumbs ambivalent.
But I did appreciate some of what they did, and I definitely see the appeal.
He's not hating.
Definitely not hating.
He's participating.
I'm participating.
I feel like Jonah Ray has another movie coming out. I thought
It's like an anthology movie.
is that his? It's
like
Satanic Hispanics, I think. Pretty sure that's what
There's some fun cameos. Thomas Lennon.
Oh, I love him.
Somebody else that I keep forgetting.
Have you seen Hell Baby?
I haven't seen Hell Baby.
Pretty funny.
Yeah. I remember it coming out though. But who the hell is it? There's somebody else.
Famke Janssen.
No, it's not.
Photocopy?
Famke.
It's not Famke.
Kamala Harris.
No, man, what? It's somebody I know. Like, and I'm like, oh shit,
I forgot. Oh, you mean in the movie?
Oh, it was John Daly. I've already talked about
Yeah,
it.
you said that.
Well, there you go.
And I think that might be why I thought. Anyways, yep.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, man.
The movie for next week is also on Shudder. It's called Suitable Flesh.
Oh, Barbie Cramps and
Barbie
Heather
Cramps.
Gramps.
And Heather Gramps. Directed by Joe Lynch. Psychiatrist Elizabeth Derby becomes obsessed with helping a young patient suffering extreme personality disorder, but it leads her into occult danger as she tries to escape a horrific fate. Bruce Davison.
Always.
And forever. 99 minutes.
I'm going to watch
Price
this
is Right.
anyway, but I'm not doing it for this
I
show.
want to
No,
see
you're
that.
not.
All right,
You're
you
definitely
guys
not.
ready for me to spin the wheel? Let's see who's going to watch
Spin the wheel.
Suitable Flesh. I heard it was good. Oh,
Oh, for crying out loud.
there you go, Amy.
I gotta watch this dang movie.
You got to watch these ding movies.
Sounds like a good one though.
Yeah, and it's 99 minutes, which makes me happy.
Yeah, you gotta love those reasonably length movies.
You just gotta.
You got to.
You gotta love them.
I appreciate them.
That's an hour and 40, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Andy.
Be fair, like 10 of it's like credits, right?
Yeah, and then there's a Pepsi commercial. We'll be right back with our main attraction right after this.
Turn out lights, it's the main attraction.
Freddie said something.
I was saying, I was like trying to get the timing down for where the ads go.
Oh, yes.
Is something that's kind of challenging when you're just a little toasty.
If these ads are annoying you, you don't have them on our Patreon.
Right.
They're not there. So our picker, every month we do 4 episodes on the theme. We pick 3, or no, we do 3 episodes. Doesn't matter. I'll shut up right
We do
now.
3,
We
somebody
do 3,
picks
yeah.
1.
Yeah, that's it.
And my picker didn't get back to me, which happens occasionally.
Was
And
an American picker.
Do you want to explain how if somebody wanted to be a picker?
if you want to be a picker, you go to notlp.com and you sign up for the mailing list. And then once a month, I reach out to a rando and I'm like, hey, you get to pick. And occasionally I get ghosted, and that's fine.
And if you're a subscriber, even if you don't get picked, you get like a nice little preview of all the coming attractions to the main attraction.
Freddie works on a really pretty little MailChimp thing that he does.
I try to make it pretty.
It's real cute.
It's always
readable.
nicely
He
presented.
makes it
Thank
nice.
you.
So anyway, we were hanging out with our meetup crew with our patrons, and we were like, I don't know what it's going to be yet. And the group was like, Bill sort of led the way and said, you guys should do Joe versus the Volcano. And I was like, fuck it. Then I don't got to think about it. So let's just do that.
Did he tell you why he chose this?
Did he?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't think
Well,
so.
Bill, reach out to us and please tell us why.
Why?
No, I'm just curious because it's kind of. I didn't hate it. I disliked it, but I didn't hate it. There's a difference. I'm just curious because it's such a kind of nothing movie. I'm sorry if this offends anybody. To me, it was kind of like
It's subjective,
just there.
Andrew. You're all right.
But like, of all the movies in the world to pick, it was just, to me, it was a strange choice.
Now, I could be wrong about the reason, but I feel like this is one of those movies that a lot of people our age probably watched as a kid and thought they loved.
Yes, I did.
Not thought
Me.
they loved. They loved. But
I was that kid.
but for reasons that were unintended by the film. And
Yes.
And so then everybody's like, "Oh, I love that." And they don't remember what it isn't, which is a cohesive movie.
I'm going to wait to say what I have to say about it until you guys get your bits out.
Well, I was actually really excited in the
Me
first
too.
beginning of it because it had the tonally, it was like, oh, it's really whimsical and like a fairy tale. And like the building that he's walking into, it's not a real building. It's like
Right.
It's meant to look fake and exaggerated.
Yeah.
Well,
And the way people are marching in and the way they park even.
Yeah.
Well, the whole crew, like the whole production crew, is like people that work with Tim Burton, and like, you know, a lot of fantasy movies, you had like your Bo Welch and your the costume lady. I know her name. I can't think of it right now, but I know it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's that same strange.
That's won a bunch of Oscars. Connie,
Carla,
Constance.
Colleen
Yeah,
Atwood?
Yes.
She
I know
related
she's
to Margaret Atwood.
I've heard of her. Like that's the only name I can think of. Anyway,
But yes.
to me, it had that really fun, whimsical opening.
Yeah.
But in like from the lighting and the characters, they were all very fantastical and fun. Like the Dan Hedaya character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's just-
Color that they let everybody's skin be in the beginning, that like
Sallow.
washed out,
Yeah.
sallow, sick.
It was clearly an absurdist comedy, which is not
and
what I was expecting.
that's why I was. I thought it was good. That's why I thought the tone was gonna be like throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
But then once it gets away from that, it gets a little too. It doesn't know what it is because basically the movie is Tom Hanks is going to Vision Quest, and he just meets up with these people,
Three sisters.
Yeah, and he has these heartfelt conversations in between with them, and there are spurts of whimsy, but it didn't work to me with all the other stuff in between the whimsy.
Sure.
Yeah, I just didn't get it.
It
Sorry?
still
It's very
worked for me
talky.
this time around, and in a different way.
Yeah.
I guess when I was a kid, what I liked about it was Tom Hanks. Man, his fucking physical comedy.
He's great.
He freaks out better than anybody.
He is the twitchiest, and he doesn't do that stuff anymore.
Can I
he's
ask
old.
you, Amy, is it because of what you're going through right now is
So
you
yes,
can relate to it
I
more?
also think watching this right now, you know, my birthday's in a couple days. My mom has cancer. There's a lot going on. You know,
Brain cloud.
feeling like I have a fucking brain cloud half the time. But yeah, absolutely. I caught what it meant for an adult to watch it this time. And it was different. Like, listen, this movie isn't great or anything. And the man who wrote it and directed it is a Pulitzer Prize winner, as a Tony. He directed Doubt and wrote the play, and then wrote and directed that screenplay. And he's like a guy. He's like one of those guys.
Directed Moonstruck.
Yeah, Moonstruck. This movie does feel like very weird.
Yeah.
Tonally, very weird.
Oh yeah.
But somehow Tom Hanks just works for me in almost any role.
Well, he elevates everything he's in.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. I wasn't bored because I was watching Tom Hanks, but and I've already said this twice to the crew, once to Andy, once to everyone. So
I need to know exactly how many times you've said this to everybody.
Well, this is going to be time number 3.
Okay.
But I was saying that I have only watched this one other time. That was when my family rented it when it came out on, home video, because we all believed, as the ads led us to, that it was a Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan comedy, like romantic comedy about a guy who is going to go to the tropics, and for some reason they want him to jump in a volcano, but he's in love, and it's like, oh, it's kooky. That's what I think my family and myself were all thinking.
It is not that.
And I was young. I don't remember what this came out in 1990. So I was like 13, whatever.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of sense to me about movies and shit. And so it came on, and I remember, so I connected with it immediately. And before we watched it, I remember thinking, shit, man, this confused the shit out of me. This is why I didn't like it, why I never revisited it. My family, we were all just like, what the fuck is this?
When you say you connected with it immediately, you did when you were 13?
No. I'm connecting with the feeling from when I was 13.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So I thought going into this that as an adult, I'd be like, okay, but I will at least now understand what they were going for, what the point is, what the through line is, what was happening. And I didn't at all. And I genuinely connected with it was like a little electric line exactly back to 13 or 14-year-old me watching this movie with my parents, where I was like, huh? And there were moments where I felt like, oh, I get this movie. And there were moments where I was like, I get this movie. But the two didn't really go together. And then there was other stuff. But Meg Ryan was never hotter than she was in this movie.
She was so beautiful.
The two of them together just made my dick hard almost immediately.
Freddy Morris.
Which I get why they made more movies pairing them up, because they were a potent, there's a potent chemistry happening there.
Yeah, well, I never found, I was never that into, I mean, not that she's, I recognize that she was, an attractive person, but she never did it for me. But in this movie, I was like, oh, I got it.
It's them together.
I liked her long hair.
It was her. It was her makeup. And
she's beautiful, but I mean, for me, it's like them together. There's something about their sexual tension. It feels like they really want to do it.
Yeah, maybe
the long hair he has in the beginning is so weird on Tom Hanks. Did anybody else just weirded out looking at it?
It was off-putting. I mean, it's not a great look on most people.
No, it's like a mullet.
But especially Tom Hanks with his specific look.
Yeah.
He can't pull it off.
Yeah, he's a very narrow actor. He's a great actor, but it's very narrow.
You mean physically?
He's a narrow.
Yes, he's tall and skinny.
Do you mean when you say narrow, you mean his looks are narrow? Oh, I gotcha.
And also his style of acting too. There's certain things that he can't play.
You mean like the Colonel? Although I love that movie because it's so stupid.
Lady Killers?
Because it's always Tom Hanks.
Elvis.
Oh, was he the Colonel?
Yeah. And it's hilarious. I mean, it's weird. That movie I have them all over the place in that movie because it is a good movie, but also it's hilariously bad too at the same time.
But I should have loved this movie because at times it reminded me of Wes Anderson. I said that before the show.
And then therefore I should hate it.
But it didn't lean further enough into the whimsy for me and the preciousness.
It's the perfect amount of whimsy for you, Amy. And Wes Anderson is too much whimsy for you.
Too much! Yova does the whimsy.
I just wanted more. I don't know. I couldn't.
Here's a new segment I want to introduce, though. It was watching this movie. I was like, let's introduce the segment of things I want to own from this movie.
Oh.
I want to own that lamp from the beginning.
It's a nice lamp. Yeah.
The musical lamp that he had.
Yeah, that is this burst of color and this gray-green awful.
It's a hula lamp.
Yeah, I love it.
I want it.
It's a nice lamp.
The titty pipe that Lloyd Bridges has.
Yeah.
There's like a masthead. What are those called? Figureheads? What are they called?
Masthead, you're right.
Masthead from a ship.
Yeah.
Where, she's
normally it's like a mermaid or something.
The prop department was out of this world on this movie.
Yeah.
Prop and set design.
The cozy boat cabin he has later on Meg Ryan's boat, on the third Meg Ryan's boat.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the coziest place I'd ever seen.
Very cozy. Agreed.
But okay.
The luggage was nice.
Oh, I love the trunks.
Beautiful trunks.
And the minute I saw the trunks, I started laughing because I remembered them just popping up. I don't know. It just brought me back to that moment. What is the setting of this movie supposed to be? Is it present day?
I don't think it's like
Or
It
is
doesn't
it
matter
supposed to
because
be
it's
a fairy tale?
Yeah, I don't think it's a.
Because
Nobody has to worry about that.
he drove like a 50s car, but it was
Yeah.
set in the 80s, and
Yeah.
everybody was acting like they were in different types of movies too.
Yeah.
Like Lloyd Bridge, that's his name, Lloyd Bridges.
Yeah.
Like, and certain characters that Meg Ryan played.
Yeah.
They were all different in different movies.
Yeah.
So I don't think it matters exactly what time period it is.
There were some great, beautiful like shots that I would love as a poster,
Sure.
like them standing in front of the skyline
Yeah.
Kelley.
with the color.
Sure.
The
No, I agree with
multicolored
that.
Skyline.
That was so funny.
Is
though.
that when they're in the car?
This is when he's with the first Meg Ryan,
Okay.
and they're in front of the skyline, and it's multicolored lights in all the windows.
That was really pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Did
And
you
then
guys-
the moon, the big moon shot, and he's standing
Yeah.
in front of the moon.
I love that one. They
Some classic.
did you notice
shots.
the gradual introduction of color? They did the same thing in Pleasantville.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was always when one of the Meg Ryans showed up, there'd be a little bit of color added.
Megs Ryan.
The
Although
Meg
in
Ryan.
Pleasantville, it's a lot more on the nose.
Yeah.
A lot more like abrupt, I think. But yeah.
Well, you can see it spread. Like, yeah, you're right, because they do flood like more
Pleasantville
area.
is like immediate. They're like in the color world and the black and white world.
I thought one person had color first.
well, it's when
Am I remembering that wrong?
different
I've
things
never seen it.
spark certain things.
Yeah.
So like when that woman makes herself come for the first time,
In
when she gets
Pleasantville,
colored,
not
yeah.
Joe versus
her
Volcano.
tree catches fire and it's in color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then different people experience different things in different places, but it happens immediately once somebody.
What,
gets
yeah,
big.
there's like isn't it like kind of like an avalanche kind of effect in that movie?
Oh,
no,
right.
they,
Am I remembering that right?
they go into the 50s world, and when they slowly
No, I
become,
meant
he
the
means
color.
the
The
reveal
yeah.
of the color.
The reveal of
yeah.
the colors, like you get a little bit and all at once, boom, you get a bunch, right?
no, it's slowly, like Kelley said, like as the world slowly changes.
Doesn't
okay, okay.
matter anymore.
I know, I'm totally confused.
We
but
need to stop
This is
splitting
our review of
hairs.
Pleasantville.
They were
Anyways,
doing
yeah.
something similar-ish.
Similar in this,
But
except they did
more
it
subtle.
Yes.
and practically. They didn't do it the way Pleasantville used digital. If I remember right, it was all CGI. And in this movie, this was very old arts and crafts, like lights, paper, like construction
No,
paper.
I love
way
the
the
movie
sets are
making
painted.
with
Yeah.
the model boat that they used.
Yeah.
It's really great.
Those are the things about the movie that I really loved. And like honestly, like
There's some mysteries, though.
yeah.
The Great Danes. Did anybody else notice them?
Oh yeah.
Every time there was a dog, and there were a few dogs, they were giant Great Danes. Every time. There were like 4 or 5 Great Danes. Nobody else noticed that?
They bought them in bulk.
That's what it was. Like there's the little woman.
Yeah, I saw like in the beginning after
There's
he
a Great
gets,
Dane, and
after he
then
gets out of
later-
the office. That's the only one I noticed. Really,
I think he's walking to go spend money. Lloyd Bridges' money, maybe.
Yeah.
And he runs by some Great Danes, and then there's I can't remember. Great Danes. I just thought that was interesting.
The greatest of Danes.
The greatest. Hamlet, then these dogs.
And these dogs, Scooby Doo.
Neil's whole taxi. Did anybody else see that? Where were they at? Were they?
The guy, the silhouette they had on his logo looked like Brett Gelman.
It was when he got to the airport and redheaded Megs Ryan showed up.
Yeah.
And I think when they were leaving the airport, they have a rental, but the camera pans past a taxi.
Yeah.
And the name, like the company name on the taxi is Neil's, as in some guy named Neil, apostrophe S, Whole, WHOLE, taxi.
no, I'm sure there's a lot of Easter eggs.
What is it?
between that and the Great Danes?
It's
It's
just a metaphor for the movie. What is it?
I think there's
funny.
meaning behind everything in
I'm
this movie.
sure, but they're like
But
total
to
non
me, it was
sequiturs
lost
to me.
Yeah, I just didn't know what I was seeing. I didn't understand where the character was coming from or going to.
I just think there was something about Tom Hanks, like Ron Livingston in Office Space,
Sure.
where they've just kind of let it go. They have achieved
Yeah.
this thing we're all trying to do,
Yeah.
is to recognize that you got to stop fighting everything that you can't fight.
Well, he was so thrilled. We didn't really synopsize this at all, but he gets diagnosed with that brain cloud.
Brain cloud.
And
Robert Stack.
yeah, we didn't talk about Robert Stack.
I think
I think Robert Stack's voice just sounded like this in real life.
Because he's always like he always sounds like he's on like.
Do you think he had to overdub everything he's ever done in the studio, like with a special microphone? But no, he just sounds like that. You're right.
That's right. It's just how he sounds.
That's amazing, really. I think it's true.
I don't know if that's
It's scary.
It was kind of jarring to hear his voice like that away from Unsolved Mysteries.
Right.
Yeah.
We had Unsolved Mysteries on because, like, there's a Pluto channel where it's just playing all the time. Or was it on Peacock? Does not matter, Amy. But he was on the big TV out here, and I was, like, watching him do his thing. And I looked, and I realized I think he's laughing at all of it.
Oh, yeah.
Like at the alien shit and the ghost shit.
He was a cop.
He's talking. He's like doing his
No,
little
that's Elliot
interstitial.
Ness. He's an actor.
Right.
Robert. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I could see in his eyes, he's like, could it be that the ghost of the doll and the baby and the thing? And I can see in his eyes, he's like, the fuck is this bullshit?
Yeah.
It was kind of adorable. Anyway, Robert Stack diagnosed him with a brain cloud. He's got 6 months to live. 5 of them are going to be okay.
For a minute there, I thought Robert Stack and Elliot Ness were the same person in my brain. Yeah. And then I was like, that ain't right. He was never a cop.
But then he gets approached by Lloyd Bridges, who's like, listen, I got a little thing. And then we get our message about capitalism. This movie does try to throw a lot into the mix.
I don't know if it's necessarily it's not so much.
It's an environmental message.
The message, I think, is totally like that Joe was in control of his life the whole time, and that he just refused to take control of his life. He had excuses for everything.
He had the way to go home the whole time.
Yeah, it's basically, he's like he's like Dorothy.
It's about the journey.
Yeah. You had the power all along.
Well,
He had to
find something
grow up.
to live for, and that was something missing in his life.
Yeah.
And it was
he hadn't even
Meg
tried.
Ryan. Yeah.
He was so
beat down by everything, and
he just got so overwhelmed by his hypochondria and his misery that he couldn't see past all of that.
Yeah.
He forgot to live because he was scared of dying.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh,
I don't think I'm the first person that said that.
No. Of course not. But like, thinking of it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he just was a whiny little bitch.
Yeah.
He needed to nut up and try to live a little. He does, strike it rich here, because Lloyd Bridges is like, here's my fucking credit card. Have a nice day. I'm going to give you 5-star treatment if you go jump into this volcano so this tribe will give me mineral rights.
Because in that tribe, there's a real racist thing about the tribe being obsessed with orange soda.
There's a lot of racist things. Like Abe Vigoda is not.
Yeah. But there are also
Caribbean.
it's like I know they were a made up tribe, but it still felt racist to me.
Yeah, it still felt racist even though they were fake.
At least Abe Vigoda didn't do a voice.
Yes.
Well, that's why I think they threw in the. I think that's why they threw in like the Celtic slash.
So
Well, they threw in like Havana Gila too.
Because they're Jewish. That was Jewish Celtic settlers or whatever.
To me, it played as funny and a criticism of the way that Western people look at tribes, and they're like, they all love the same shit, and that they're not really individuals, but their culture overrides their individuality, kind of thing. But I knew you would never do it now. That's not like a joke you would write into a screenplay.
No, I think they can do it now if it was more obvious what they're doing.
Yeah, maybe. This guy did win the Pulitzer.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Pulitzer.
I think Tom Hanks was a little hot in this
No,
movie.
he's always been pretty attractive.
I've never been like.
You're allowed to think
attracted.
that.
I've always admired and loved
Because
him.
Meg Ryan was with him, Amy. I'm telling you.
But like in that tux, I was like, you could get it, Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could.
Why not? It's Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
I'm the fifth dentist to this week. I really love this. Or no, Amy liked it.
I like it.
No, I'd really like the message, what they're
Yeah.
going for, but just the way
Tom
they
Hanks.
executed it. And
Yeah.
like another Wes Anderson thing that remind me of is like the montages set to music.
Yeah.
But I felt the music choices are kind of lazy.
Yeah.
Well, the music. I was gonna say the song selection. So I don't like the actual songs in the movie, but I love the score to the movie.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And I really don't like that version of Company Store at the beginning. It's so corny and weird,
Yeah.
and it cheapens the
It
whole
seems
movie.
soulless.
Yeah, exactly. Which I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but it didn't work either way. But it's kind of like I was blown away by the dialogue. like really blown away at how poetic it was throughout the whole movie. But in parts, it was like perfect dialogue. And also the whole movie's written in this really specific old-fashioned 40s rhythm of dialogue, which I love that. It lulls me into the most relaxed place because I love those movies. And this movie did that for me, but then also gave me all this beautiful, like, Technicolor stuff that I'd crave like crazy for movies now that they just won't do anymore. Except for Wes Anderson and, you know, some hipster movies. But I'd love a mainstream movie to go back, you know, and try it at least.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
No, I like the writing too, but like I said, it just didn't jive with me with the other, the parts of it.
You would like, you probably like this separated out and reconstructed.
And everything, all the scenes kind of went on a little too long too.
Yeah,
I think it needed some editing.
I was pretty laid back when I watched it, so I might not have picked up on a pacing issue.
It was weird.
It just hit us different. But I just at the end of the day, what I liked about it this time was not what I liked about it when I was a kid. I think I did like the grown up shit in this one.
I didn't like it as a kid. I saw it and I really dismissed it completely when I was asleep.
I thought it was like cool when I was a kid, but because I just thought Tom Hanks like hung the moon, man. He was so fucking funny. The Money Pit. Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
I thought I was getting like Indiana Jones, and when I saw it, and then I was like a romantic comedy, and that I was just like, what?
My mom just mentioned this movie. What were we talking about? Joe versus Volcano the other, like last week sometime.
I don't know.
I think she likes this movie. I'll ask her.
I thought it was going to be a romantic comedy with some adventure, a la Romancing the Stone.
Isn't it that though?
You thought it was going to be the thing.
Well, I guess there's less adventure.
That I thought it was, and I thought it was going to be the thing that you thought it was.
Yeah, I could not compare this to
A Summer's Day?
To Romancing the Stone any less.
Oh,
I feel like these are
very different
Very
movies.
different.
So
I love Romancing the Stone.
I love Romancing the Stone, but so I just don't know what I'm supposed to. I wasn't sure what I was supposed to come away from this with. It didn't leave me with any kind of feeling at all, other than like
that's what it had for you then.
Yeah,
that's okay.
I didn't hate it. I like Tom Hanks. I like Meg Ryan.
There's nothing wrong with not liking something.
I didn't hate it.
I mean, it had all the parts to a great movie for me at least. But the parts just didn't. There was like
they were.
It was some parts missing.
You're
square pegs, round holes.
I agree with you that like Wes Anderson might have perfected this style of filmmaking.
He probably loves this movie.
He probably does, yeah. But I feel like you're right that this would feel like.
Yeah, like I
it doesn't feel as good as a Wes Anderson.
I feel like Wes
movie.
Anderson's choices are more deliberate.
Yeah,
and make more sense.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's the next generation.
Yeah, like I said,
style.
like with the music choices, they were so like cliche and trite. At least like Wes Anderson really picked some interesting choices from
keep
music.
in mind he created a cliche himself. Wes Anderson did. It's possible that in 1990 this wasn't cliched. You know what I mean? Like, because if you look now, you can parody a Wes Anderson movie.
No,
people know what you're doing
in terms of song choices. I mean, that's part of it. The reason, like,
well, no, what I'm saying that like part of the vibe too. I think is that.
Alise is here.
Oh, she can come in. It should be open.
Well, you can go let her in.
I'll go let her in. You wrap it up?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, it's Freddy's birthday, listener, and we're gonna have a little fun time after this. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
how'd we do?
And this is not a indictment on you, Bill. We still love you.
Yeah. Oh no! I mean, if you
for me at least, like you love the movie.
If Bill had made the movie, it might be an indictment on him.
It'd be impressive if he did. He would have been like 10 at that point.
Yeah.
And directing a movie with like
Tom Hanks,
like big stars. It's pretty impressive for a 10.
Ryan, Abe, fucking Vigoda.
Abe Vigoda, the biggest.
Amanda Plummer too.
Amanda Plummer.
Yeah, don't forget
Again,
Amanda.
it's great to see like Dan Hedaya. Great to see. I love seeing familiar faces.
Right.
There's so many people.
Yeah, there are 8 billion of them on this planet.
And you look at them,
and you're like, "That's an okay one. That's a not okay one."
And you make decisions.
You do. That's all you do.
That's all I do
as a human. All right. So at the end of every show, we always say hi to our Beelzebubs.
One of them's here.
One of them is in the room. Hi, Alise.
And we're going to play a song about her at the end of the show.
I'll see you in a second.
Yes, we are.
You see it right now.
Hi. Beelzebubs.
Is she in the past?
If you go to patreon.com/NOTLP, I'll get it together. You can learn more about becoming one. All right. We said hi to Alise. Check. Alyssa. Branan and Emily. Jeffel. Iona Goodwin.
And a great one.
Thank you.
All right.
Dr. Brian. Old Dirty Bill Sturd. Again, thanks for the pick. Bill Farner. Frosted Blakes. Blayne Yogurt. Jordache Jeans. Wall. Jeremy. Cassie. Gamora.
Yeah.
Ernie. Dave Siebert. Monica. Dustin.
Big D. Big Dustin.
Big D.
Big D.
All right, everybody. Well, next month starts what?
Oh, you can keep going.
Next month starts our sequels. We're doing number 2s. We're number 2.
We're doing our number 2s.
But they had to be like weird
your
sequels,
ears.
right?
Well,
We're gonna do it on the mic.
It can just be. We can just do number 2s if you want. But I
Because the whole thing was like shitty sequels, right?
Yeah, we'll do something
originally
crazy.
shitty sequels,
Yeah.
but they
Yes.
don't have to be terrible, objectively bad
Just
or anything.
different.
Just different. Just so weird that people might think they're shitty.
Just different.
So that's coming next, and then that's great. And then I guess that's it. Is that it?
Yeah.
Bye.
No,
One
wait.
more thing.
Oh.
Alise is here, and I was just gonna have Kelley take over and talk about the song we're gonna.
Elise,
Oh,
Elise, the
oh.
song.
I just want to say quickly, I thought you said next month's theme was seagulls.
Yeah.
What a narrow theme.
We found.
I was wondering. How
Good luck
many-
picking a movie picker.
Just a seagull has to be in it.
No. It has to be the main thrust of the horror.
We need to make those movies then
So.
fast.
Starring Steven Seagal.
Yep.
But
A seagull.
yeah. Oh, Steven Seagal and Katie Seagal. Seagal.
Or Katie Siegel. Doing Kegels.
All right.
So Freddie suggested again to go out on one of my Obliging Victim songs, which was, I thought, very gracious because he did that last time. But in asking which one I wanted to play, I'm going to play the one I wrote about my beautiful wife, Alise, my inspiration. This broad right here, because it was sort of one of the first songs I started writing again when I was feeling creative again, and I also like the way it turned out. And I love you.
The truth is, I was like, you better write a fucking song
Yeah,
about
I mean,
God
honestly.
damn it.
That was
All
the
right.
cost of that was my cost of admission.
All the wives and girlfriends,
in those panties.
boyfriends and husbands, spouses and partners of musicians, you know you're waiting for them to do it. You're
Set the bar
expecting
too
it.
high now.
You're expecting it. Okay, The Obliging Victims on all the streamings.
Thank you. Yeah, all of them. They're everywhere.
I love you,
We're everywhere.
Kelley.
I love you too.
Bye, guys.
Wasting time.